Woo-wee! It's warming up out here. I gotta get going on this thing. This is Tom Lesher with the weekly Pele report for July 27th, 2011, out here on the Yuba River. It's a beautiful day, and there's a lot going on here. I'm sunning myself on the rocks just like a good lion should. You know, we've got a lot of Leo going on here. The sun went into Leo. Tomorrow, Thursday, Venus goes into Leo. Friday, the moon goes into Leo. So this weekend, we've got this Sun, Moon, Venus conjunction in Leo, trining Uranus in Aries, fire and fire. Yeah, beautiful, sunny, gorgeous time to really get in touch with our fire. And that fire is inspiration. That fire is life. That fire is connected to the sun. And the sun constantly battles the darkness. The light battles the darkness, and every morning it conquers it. Every sunrise. So it's like this conscious, unconscious time. A time to penetrate your unconscious with your conscious. Yeah. And of course, we know that Leo deals with children and cancer. You know, Mars is going into cancer. I'm going to talk about that next week. But, you know, we're at this time now of looking at and working with the inner child. And it's interesting to see what's going on. There's a lot of different lions out there, yeah? You've got fearful lions, like in the Wizard of Oz movie, you know? If I only had courage, if I only had a heart, yeah. But without courage, you've got the weak lion. Then you've got the lazy lion, and then you've got the king or the queen, lioness. So, these are different archetypes. They're different facets, different ways of manifesting this expression of that lion archetype. And so much of it has to deal with how aware we are. How do I say this? How much of an individual we are. We're in the process of now, through this time period of 2010 to 2012, where it's time to become more sovereign. It's time to become more autonomous, to go into our core, make our own decisions, express our own unique individuality. And that's why all of our relationships are changing so dramatically as Saturn goes through Libra. It's like if we're taking more responsibility for being independent and liberated, we're breaking all of these codependencies. So there's a lot of relationships breaking up because the people cannot be liberated and autonomous while still being in that old type of relationship. There's a lot of people in relationships that are saying, you know what, this relationship can support me in being more autonomous, being more sovereign, being more liberated. So, those are the types of relationships that are going to make it and last through these next few years. But one way or the other, both men and women now, during this time period, really this is a time of tapping into, the child. And all of our children have been wounded because we've all been raised by imperfect parents. And of course, these imperfect parents, well, I'm going to get into that a little later because our childhood is a recapitulation of our past lives. It brings up to consciousness what we need to be looking at and working with this lifetime. And as we move into this time period, if we want to create, Leo is the sign of creating something new. And something new is something that has never been before. So we've got no guidelines, no rules, no recipes for this. And we need to break out and break free from relationships, from the family, from the tribe, from the religion, from the society. We need to break into to find our own powerful, unique expression. Self-expression is what Leo in the fifth house is about. You have to have a self. in order to get the expression, okay? And this self is buried. This self is hidden. There's lots of uncovering. We got to peel back the layers of the onion. And one of these, of course, is to deal with mom and dad. Because our parents, first of all, when we're born, men fear women. We've been booted out of the uterus, and we have felt separation from the mother. And even women also have this separation from the womb and from the mother, and they transfer a lot of that onto father. The parent of the opposite sex is what we can really deal with a lot when we look at our childhood. But if we go into these situations, these conditions, and these feelings, we'll find that we tend to oppress what we fear. We fear losing power and control over our anima, our animus, the inner woman or the inner male, and that colors very deeply all of our relationships with the opposite sex. And as we clear these issues of what was suppressed, denied, avoided, what we did not express as children, what needs to come out, why, I mean, we tried to conform to what our parents wanted us to be so that they would love us. And so, and so coming into our own can involve breaking away, getting rejected from, or stepping out of our family situation, and away from the parents, and away from the spouse, and away from the kids. It's This is the hero's journey. The heroine's journey, is that journey into selfhood. And the danger that I want to point out with what's going on this weekend is just the lazy lion and the weak lion, because it is so tempting to just get all caught up in the gossip and go out to the bars, or have your smokes and your drinks and your chocolate and your coffee, and meet with your friends and laze around like, like the little pride of lions. And I mean, it's a beautiful time. But this fixed sign of Leo needs to be inwardly active. What makes the difference between the weak or lazy lion and the king and the queen of the jungle is discipline, devotion to something greater, something higher, something more than the mundane daily reality. I want to encourage you, this week, to not skate across the surface and just go on partying, and finish your work, and you got enough money, and you got the mortgage or the rent paid, and you're just going to relax and chill. I encourage you to go in, dive deep, don't go to sleep. Oh, and that's the mantra for this week. The mantra for this week is dig deep, don't go to sleep. How about that? Whatever, man. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that mantra every week. It's a strain. So, anyway, yeah, it's with that fixed sign, don't just hang out. Create something new with yourself, with your life, with your dreams. Aim above, go beyond what is, into the creative imagination of the ultimate unknown. There's one more thing I wanted to say. I don't know if I got enough time. Anyway. Oh, I'm doing a radio show on the law of attraction radio. It's a 40-minute video that goes into some really good stuff came through. It's going to air on Sunday, and I'll try to put the information out, with this Pele report. But it goes a lot more deeper into a lot of this, and of course more. Yeah, it's really good. Did want to draw a correlation to this is a time of reflection, between October, November, December of last year and August, September of this year. Things that began, things that ended, things that started, new situations, conditions in your relationship, in your business, and in your work, in your partnerships, that began. Now is the time of wrapping up a lot of those 9 month things that have been kind of changing or in limbo, or so this is a time of wrapping things up and moving on. So I hope that is what you are doing, wrapping it up and moving it on. That's an even better mantra. Wrap it up and move it on, baby. Aloha, namaste, and see you next week.